Welcome to Healthier Daily. I'm Dr. Ben Carter, and today we need to talk about a serious misunderstanding that might be costing you your strength. For decades, we've been told one thing. When it comes to protein, eggs are the gold standard. They're reliable, they're complete, they're the benchmark. But what if I told you that you've been misled? What if that gold standard is actually holding you back? The truth is, relying on eggs alone might be one of the biggest mistakes seniors make in the fight against muscle loss. Let's look at the numbers that are causing all this confusion. An egg has about 13 grams of protein for every 100 grams. That's a good number, but what about Parmesan cheese that has 42 grams of protein per 100 grams? That's more than triple. Or what about dried fish powder, which clocks in at a staggering 63 grams? Or whey protein isolate, which can top 90 grams. When you see those numbers, it's easy to think eggs are weak. It's easy to think you should be loading up on these other miracle foods. But this is the real trap. Those big shocking numbers are hiding a very dangerous truth. The protein per 100 grams metric is one of the most misleading, impractical, and frankly lazy ways to measure protein for your health. Today, we are going to expose what I call the 100-gram lie. We won't just give you a list. We will teach you how to see the real value in protein so you can finally stop the guessing and start rebuilding. To help us understand this, our expert Dr. Hinohara has a philosophy on this that completely changes how you should look at food after 60. Dr. Hinohara, you describe this differently.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Yes, the 100-gram lie is dangerous because it treats every food the same. It is a number for a spreadsheet, not for a human body. I ask my patients to think of their body, especially their digestion and their muscles, as an old wise furnace. When you were 20, you had a brand new roaring furnace. You could throw anything into it, wet logs, cheap coal, it didn't matter, and it would burn hot. But after 60, your furnace is older, it's wiser, it's more particular. You can no longer just dump in the biggest pile of fuel you can find. If you do that, you will not get heat. You will get smoke. You will clog the system. An old furnace doesn't need the biggest fuel pile. It needs the right fuel. And the right fuel must have three qualities, which we will explore today as our three great secrets. Secret, does the fuel catch fire easily? Secret, does the fuel burn clean, or does it leave a heavy toxic ash? And secret, can you actually fit the fuel into the furnace, or is it just a giant pile you can only look at? Today, we will show you how to find the right fuel for your furnace.
That is the perfect way to frame this. We're going to break down all those foods you saw in the intro, the cheeses, the seeds, the powders, and we're going to measure them by Dr. Hinohara's three secrets. Before we reveal the first secret, we want to hear from you. Have you ever felt confused by protein advice? Maybe you've been eating eggs every day, wondering if it's really enough. If that sounds like you just type yes in the comments below, and if this is the kind of deep, practical health information you're looking for, please take this moment to hit the subscribe button and join our community. Your journey to strength starts right now. All right, let's talk about that first secret. Does the fuel catch fire? To understand this, we have to face the biggest challenge for anyone over 60. It's a scientific term, but we're going to make it very simple. It's called anabolic resistance. Anabolic means to build. Resistance means it's hard to do. Your muscles have become resistant to the signal to grow. Let's go back to Dr. Hinohara's furnace. Your furnace is cold. It's stubborn. You can't just toss a log in and hope it lights. You need a powerful spark. You need an ignition switch to force that fire to start. In your body, that ignition switch has a name, leucine. Leucine is one of the 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks of protein. But it's unique. Leucine is the only amino acid that can all by itself flip the on switch for muscle building, a pathway scientists call mTOR. Without enough leucine in a single meal, that switch stays off. The furnace never lights. The protein you just ate is not used to build muscle. It just gets burned as expensive energy, or worse, stored as fat. So how much leucine is enough? The science is clear. To overcome anabolic resistance, you need about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine in a single sitting. If you eat a meal with only 1.5 grams, it's like a spark that fizzles out. You haven't started the fire. You've wasted the opportunity.
This, Dr. Ben, is the single most common mistake I see. It is the story of my patient, let's call her Margaret. She was 74, a lovely woman, very diligent. She had read online that she needed more protein, so she was grazing all day. She would have oatmeal with a sprinkle of hemp seeds for breakfast, maybe 1 gram of leucine. Then for lunch, a small salad with some chickpeas, maybe 1.5 grams of leucine. Then a handful of nuts in the afternoon, 0.5 grams of leucine. At the end of the day, her food diary said she ate 50 grams of protein. She was very proud, but she was still getting weaker. Why? Because not once in that entire day did she start the furnace. She never hit that 3-gram leucine ignition. She was putting fuel in, but the fire was never lit. Her muscles were, in fact, starving for the signal to grow.
Margaret's story is the perfect example. Now let's look at those high-protein foods from the list and see which ones are actually good igniters. The king of leucine. The most powerful igniter is whey protein. This is why we value it. A single 30-gram scoop of whey isolate doesn't just have 27 grams of protein. It has over 3 grams of leucine. That is a guaranteed ignition every single time. Now, what about that Parmesan cheese, that shocking 42 gram per 100 gram food? Here is its real secret. It is loaded with leucine. Now, you would never eat 100 grams of it. But let's say you take Margaret's chickpea salad. As we saw, that salad is a cold meal. It won't start the furnace. But if you add 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan, you've just added 1.5 grams of leucine. You may have just pushed that meal over the threshold.
This is the wisdom. The Parmesan is not the fuel, it is the spark.
Exactly. Compare that to quinoa. Quinoa is a wonderful food, a complete protein, but an entire cooked cup only has about 0.6 grams of leucine. It is a very, very weak igniter. The same goes for chickpeas. You would have to eat an enormous, uncomfortable amount to get anywhere near the 3-gram ignition switch.
So, you see, the first question is never, how much protein is in this? The first most important question is there enough spark in this meal to even start the fire? So with secret number 1, we have used our spark, the leucine, to ignite the furnace. The fire is lit. This is a wonderful first step. But now we face the second and equally important secret. What kind of fuel did we just put in? Does this fuel burn cleanly, giving us pure, powerful heat? Or does it fill the furnace with thick, heavy ash? In my clinic, ash is not a metaphor. Ash is the bloating. It is the gas, the indigestion, the acid reflux, and the heavy weighed-down feeling my patients complain about. Throwing 50 grams of the wrong kind of protein into an 80-year-old digestive system doesn't build muscle. It smothers the fire. You cannot build a strong house with a furnace full of ash.
That ash Dr. Hinohara is describing is the heart of secret. The scientific term for clean-burning fuel is bioavailability. It's a simple, practical question. If you eat 30 grams of protein, how many of those grams can your body actually unlock and use to build muscle? A food that says 100 grams of protein on a label is completely useless if your body can only absorb 50 grams of it. For decades, this is why animal proteins like our original egg or milk or fish have been the benchmark. Their protein structure is very similar to our own. Our furnace knows exactly how to burn them. Their bioavailability is incredibly high, often 95% or more. They are very clean fuels. But many of the plant-based proteins on our list, as wonderful as they are, come with a built-in defense mechanism. Foods like chickpeas, quinoa, and pumpkin seeds are packed with nutrients, but they also come coated in compounds called anti-nutrients, like phytates and lectins. Think of these compounds as a natural fire retardant on the fuel. Their job is to protect the seed, but inside your body they can bind to minerals like zinc and iron, and they make the protein itself harder for your furnace to unlock and burn. This is a major source of ash.
I had a patient, Mr. Henderson, 69 years old. He was a very smart man who read a blog that told him to eat like the ancients. He suddenly started eating large bowls of yun-soaked beans, raw nuts, and handfuls of seeds. He was following the advice perfectly, but he came to me complaining of terrible stomach pains and bloating. He told me, "Dr. Hinohara, I feel heavy, not strong." He was filling his furnace with ash. He was trying to burn wet logs. His body was not absorbing the protein. It was just fermenting it in his gut. That does not build muscle. It only builds discomfort.
Mr. Henderson's story is the key. Does this mean these plant proteins are bad? Absolutely not. It just means that for our older, wiser furnace, they must be prepared correctly. You have to dry the wet logs before you put them in. How do you do that? It's simple. You soak your chickpeas and quinoa overnight before you cook them. This simple ancient step of soaking in water removes most of those fire-retardant anti-nutrients. It washes them away. It makes the fuel ready to burn cleanly. Now let's look at the superstars of clean fuel from our list. Tempeh is a champion here. It's made from soybeans, but it is fermented. That fermentation process is like pre-digestion. The friendly bacteria have already eaten the anti-nutrients for you. It's ash-free plant protein. The same is true for Greek yogurt. The straining and fermentation process removes the lactose, which is the #1 source of ash or indigestion from dairy for many seniors. It leaves behind pure, easy-to-absorb protein. And this is why whey isolate and dried fish powder are so potent. They have been processed, isolated, or dehydrated to deliver only the protein with zero ash. They are the cleanest, hottest burning fuels you can find.
This is a lot of information, and we are so glad you are on this journey of wisdom with us. We love our global community. Please take a moment and tell us in the comments what country or what state in the U.S. are you watching from today. It brings us great joy to see where you are. We have come so far on our journey of wisdom. We know from secret that we must ignite the furnace with the spark of leucine. We know from secret that we must use clean burning fuel that our body can actually absorb without creating ash. Now we face the third and perhaps the most crucial secret of all. We must ask, what is this fuel made of? What is its true inner quality? I want you to imagine that the muscle you are trying to build is a strong, beautiful brick wall. To build this wall properly, your construction crew needs 9 different kinds of bricks. Not just one kind. 9 essential different shapes and sizes. If you have 8 kinds of bricks but you run out of the 9th kind, what happens to the job? The construction stops. The wall does not get built, no matter how many of the other 8 bricks you have. These 9 special bricks are your essential amino acids. They are called essential because your body cannot under any circumstances make them. You must get all 9 of them from your food in the right balance at the same time. This is a great plant protein trap. Many plant-based foods, even those with high protein numbers, are missing one of the bricks.
That brick wall is the perfect analogy, Dr. Hinohara. This is our secret. The fuel for your furnace must be complete. A complete protein is a food that contains all 9 of those essential bricks in the right amounts in one package. This is why animal proteins like our original egg like whey fish powder parmesan and Greek yogurt are so powerful. They are all complete. The furnace burns them and the wall gets built. It's simple. But many plant proteins are incomplete. And this right here is where the 100-gram lie truly falls apart and becomes dangerous. Let's look at chickpeas. On paper, they have a good protein number, but they are very, very low in one of those essential bricks, an amino acid called methionine. If you eat a big meal of only chickpeas for your protein, your body will start building that muscle wall, run out of methionine bricks, and the entire job will grind to a halt. All the other bricks are now useless.
I had a patient, Mr. Allen, 71 years old. His doctor wisely told him to eat less red meat to protect his heart. So Mr. Allen did his research and started eating large bowls of lentils and beans for lunch and dinner. He was very proud of this change. But he came to me and said, Dr. Hinohara, I am doing what they said, but I feel weak. I feel frail. I looked at his food journal. He was eating plenty of protein grams. He had plenty of fuel, but he was missing the methionine brick all day long. His body was starting to build the wall, running out of that one brick and stopping, then starting again at the next meal and stopping again. He was in a state of constant failed construction.
So what was the solution for Mr. Allen? Did he need to go back to eating meat? Absolutely not. He just needed the wisdom of protein combining. This is what our ancestors did naturally without science. They just knew what worked. We simply told him to add a side of brown rice to his beans, or to eat his hummus, which is made from chickpeas, with a piece of whole wheat pita bread. You see the brick that is missing in beans. Methionine is abundant in grains, and the brick that is missing in grains, lysine, is abundant in beans. When you eat them together, you create a complete protein. You give your crew all 9 bricks. The wall can finally be built. Now let's look at the true champions on our plant-based list. Tempeh hemp seeds and quinoa are special. They are 3 of the rare complete plant proteins. They do contain all 9 bricks all by themselves. This makes them incredibly valuable, high-quality fuels for your furnace. This is why 30 grams of protein from tempeh is far, far more powerful than 30 grams from chickpeas. The 100-gram lie tells you they are similar. Dr. Hinohara's wisdom tells you they are worlds apart. Okay, this is the moment where everything comes together. We now have our 3 great secrets. From secret, we know our fuel must have the spark of leucine to ignite the furnace. From secret, we know it must be clean burning and bioavailable to avoid ash. And from secret, we know it must be complete with all 9 essential bricks to actually build the wall. But now we must face the fourth and final test. It's not a secret, it's just common sense. I call it the practicality test. This is where we finally completely expose the 100-gram lie for the fantasy that it is. The question is, can you actually put this fuel in the furnace? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. That shocking number that started this whole video. Parmesan cheese with 42 grams of protein per 100 grams. It sounds like a miracle food. It has the spark, it burns clean, it's complete. It passes the first 3 secrets. But now let's ask, what is 100 grams of Parmesan? 100 grams of Parmesan cheese is a full cup of densely grated cheese. It is nearly 450 calories. It is 30 grams of fat, and a staggering 20 grams of that is saturated fat. That's your entire daily limit, and then some. It is also loaded with almost 1,900 milligrams of sodium. If you tried to eat this much every day to get your 42 grams of protein, you wouldn't be building muscle. You would be building a direct case for a heart attack. It is a completely impractical, ridiculous, and dangerous serving size. The 42-gram number is a fantasy.
This is not a hypothetical danger. I had a patient, we will call him Frank. 73 years old, he's a wonderful man, but he gets very excited by health hacks he sees online. He saw a video, just like the one we are discussing. He heard Parmesan has tripled the protein of eggs. So, what did he do? He started dumping it on everything. He put a handful on his already salty soup for lunch. He put a giant pile on his pasta for dinner. He sprinkled it on his salad like it was lettuce. He was so proud he was hacking his protein. 2 months later, he was in my office for his checkup. His blood pressure, which we had finally gotten under control, was through the roof. His cholesterol, which was borderline, was now dangerously high. He complained of feeling puffy and stiff, which was from all the sodium. He wasn't just fueling his furnace. As I told him, Frank, you're clogging all the pipes in the house. He was so focused on that one big shiny number that he forgot to ask, is this wise?
Frank's story is the perfect lesson. The same is true for dried fish powder at 63 grams of protein. Yes, it's a clean fuel, but 100 grams is a massive, incredibly salty, powerfully fishy amount. It is not a meal, it is a seasoning. It's an ingredient. So now let's apply the practicality test and find the real winners. Let's re-rank these foods based on protein per realistic serving. Look at Greek yogurt. The original list put this at the very bottom one and said 10 grams of protein. But what is a realistic serving one's standard single serving cup, which is about 7 or 8 ounces? That easy-to-eat cup gives you 20 to 22 grams of complete high leucine clean-burning protein. Suddenly, it's one of the most powerful items on the list. Look at tempeh. The list put it in the middle. But a standard 3.5-ounce 100-gram block is a perfect serving size. That gives you 20 grams of complete high leucine, clean-burning plant protein. And what about our humble egg 2 large eggs? That's a 100-gram serving. It gives you 13 grams of perfect protein that passes all 4 of our tests. Do you see what happened? The shocking foods Parmesan fish powder are just seasonings. The boring foods Greek yogurt, tempeh, and eggs are the real gold standard because you can actually eat them in a serving that delivers a powerful, practical dose of protein. So where does this leave us? We started this journey looking at a shocking upside-down list. A list where our trusted egg was at the bottom and exotic powders and hard cheeses were at the top. But that entire list, as we have discovered, was built on a fantasy. It was built on the 100-gram lie. But today you have gained the wisdom to see past the hype. You now have the 4 secrets of Dr. Hinohara's wise old furnace. You know that the real value of a protein isn't one big flashy number. It's the answer to 4 crucial questions. The spark, does it have enough leucine to even ignite the furnace? The cleanliness, is it bioavailable? Will it burn clean or will it leave ash indigestion? The quality, is it a complete protein with all 9 essential bricks to build the wall? The reality, and finally, is it practical? Can you actually eat a real healthy serving of it?
When you use these 4 questions as your filter, the confusion disappears. The list stops being shocking and starts making sense. The miracle foods find their proper humble place, and the boring foods reveal their true power. At Healthier Daily, we do not rank foods by marketing numbers. We rank them by wisdom. So here is our true protein guide for your wise old furnace. First, we have the gold standard tier. These are the fuels that pass all 4 of our tests with flying colors. They have the spark, they burn clean, they are complete, and they are practical. These should be the foundation of your strength.
In this gold tier, we place animal sources Greek yogurt and our humble powerhouse egg. They are perfectly balanced, easy to find, easy to eat, and packed with high-quality leucine. Plant-based sources tempeh and hemp seeds. They are 2 of the rare complete plant proteins. They are high in leucine, and they are easy to digest. The super tool, and of course, whey protein isolate. It's not a food, but it is the ultimate tool. It is the most powerful spark and the cleanest fuel, perfect for those days when your appetite is low or you need a guaranteed ignition.
Next, we have the silver standard tier. These are wonderful, healthy fuels, but they require one extra step of wisdom from you. They are not plug and play.
This is where chickpeas and quinoa live. They are fantastic for you. But as we learned, you must soak them to remove the ash anti-nutrients, and you must combine them like beans with rice to get all 9 bricks. They are excellent, but they require that extra simple step of knowledge.
And finally, we have what I call the seasoning tier. This is the true home for Parmesan cheese and dried fish powder. Are they bad? Not at all. They are wonderful, but they are not fuel. They are spark. They are leucine igniters. You add a tablespoon of Parmesan to your silver tier quinoa. You add a sprinkle of fish powder to your vegetable soup. You use them as helpers to make the entire meal better. You do not treat them as the main source. This is the difference between a big, foolish number and true practical wisdom. Do not let the world confuse you with shocking numbers. Do not chase the next big thing. Your body, your wise furnace, is not looking for a shock. It is looking for consistency. It is looking for nourishment. The 100-gram lie tells you to be impressed. Wisdom asks you to be practical. Today, you have gained that wisdom. Use it to feed your furnace well.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. If you learned something new today, if you finally feel you understand how to really look at protein, please do us a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps our channel reach more people who need this information. And please share this video with a friend or family member who might also be confused by all the conflicting advice out there. If you are not already part of our community, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We release in-depth health guides just like this one every single week to help you stay strong and independent based on real science and timeless wisdom. And now for our final question. After learning the 4 secrets, what is one change you will make? Will you start combining your beans and rice? Will you try tempeh for the first time, or will you go back to enjoying your eggs with confidence? We want to hear your plan in the comments section below. And as always, a reminder, the information in this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. The advice that is right for Dr. Hinohara's patients may not be right for you. Please consult your own doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have pre-existing conditions like kidney disease.
Thank you for your time. Be wise, be practical, be strong.